Hey, car dealers, are you getting too many bad leads?
Maybe you're just missing this one thing.
I'm Travis Miller,
Hey, and I'm Jimmy V.
and this is the show that helps you build a better dealership.
All right, T, ding, ding. Let's dive in and get started on this topic today. You know, I don't know how many times we've heard it from dealers. I mean, the leads are bad. Have you heard that one, T? It's like
Time
a
or
marketer's
two, yeah.
bane of a marketer's existence, right?
Yeah.
The leads are bad. The lead quality is bad. Or I love this one. The BDC says the leads are bad. Or the sales guy says the leads are bad. Or the manager
trust 'em.
says the leads are bad. Like the leads are bad comes from all places. The lowest performing sales guy says the leads are bad.
Yeah, and that's why he's the lowest performing sales guy. If we had
Yeah.
better leads, I'd be better.
You'd be better, right? So, I mean, this conversation is as old as the hills themselves. But now, I will say, joking aside, which is hard when it comes to you and I, bad leads do exist. Real bad leads do exist.
It's part of the system. It's intended.
Yes, if they were all good leads, then the conversion rates would be super high. And conversion rates, by and large, in the history of marketing, are not super high.
Maybe we should talk about the conversion rates, like the funnel.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. And then we'll get to the one thing that could be making all the leads bad.
Yeah, because there is one thing you can do different that will really make the difference and have huge impact on lead quality. And the good news and bad news is that it's entirely in your control.
That's right. Lead quality and lead conversion, one thing makes it better. We'll talk about it. But first, we're going to talk about the funnel because you need to understand the funnel before you can see how this helps.
You know, Napoleon Hill, in his great book, Think and Grow Rich, one of his success principles was accurate thinking. And the funnel is a function of accurate thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because it creates appropriate expectations for the performance, the matriculation of leads through the process. And so let's start with a raw number of leads. Let's say 120 leads.
Okay.
All right.
120 leads generated.
120 leads generated. Some number of those, and it's not actually standard, which is unfortunate, but it's not. Some number of those leads are going to be duplicates and total junk, right? Like obvious junk.
Yeah.
Invalid. Yeah.
Your mother.
You're right. Your mother shops for a lot of cars, I got to tell you.
She does. She shops a lot.
And so I'm going to call that, in this case, out of the 120, I'm going to call
mom from shopping.
You can't stop moms from shopping.
Yeah.
Oh, Reggie. So, man, that's an oldie.
I know. That was a good one.
I'm going to call the number 20. Out of 120, I'm going to say that 20 are just total garbage junk. Okay.
And there's no rhyme or reason to this. It just really depends on what your process is, where you're getting the leads from, what you're asking them to do, how you're asking them to do it.
Yeah. Right. And so call a spade a spade. Let's acknowledge the fact that these are junk. They're junk, bad leads. All right. So we want to fill
bad leads.
They're the actual bad leads. Right. So get them out right off the top. You don't want to waste any time with them. And now you're left with 100. And what we call these 100 are unique valid leads. We refer to them as UVLs, unique valid leads. So we've filtered out the duplicates. We've filtered out the obvious trash, right? And anyone who had, phone numbers that didn't work.
Right.
And now we're left with 100 who have, valid phone numbers, real names, and with the duplicates removed. We've got 100. So what should we expect beyond that? We should expect to be able to get in touch with 85% of them. And we call that the connect rate. That's the next step of the funnel. We want to have an 85% connect rate, meaning of the 100 UVLs, 85% we speak to one or more times, and speak to could be on the phone, could be, through text. or a response through email, but we have, a live connection. And that means that 15%, that means 15 of the 100 we never ultimately get in touch with. Right.
And like 85 is the goal. So, I mean, we don't always hit the goal, but you're striving for the goal.
That's right. That's right. So now we've got 85. Now we've connected with 85. Now the next step, once we connect with them, generally the next goal is to schedule an appointment. And what we found is that if you do a really good job in having the conversation, which is a topic for a different day, but if you do a really good job, having a conversation and, really connecting with the people, with the lead, now that you've connected, you have a human to human connection where you understand their challenges and help them feel what we call HUG, heard, understood, and guided, that you should be able to convert 50% of those into appointments. And so 85 valid leads, that's what we call that next, or 85 connected leads, 50% of those convert to appointments. So we've got 42 appointments. Let's round down, makes the number, it's a round number. 42 appointments. Okay, great. Now let's stop for a second to look at that. We started with 120 leads. Now we have 42 appointments. So we know that the first 20 that we took off the top, we know that those were junk. But are the 58 leads, the 15 that we never connected with, and the 43 that we couldn't schedule an appointment with, are they bad? Are they bad?
And was it just we couldn't get a hold of them, part of it? Mm-hmm. And then when we couldn't schedule them, well, maybe that was our fault, right? Yep, maybe we just didn't connect well with them on the telephone. We didn't address their pain. We didn't address maybe we didn't have the vehicle they were calling in about, and we weren't able to let them show them that we could help them further, even though we didn't have that vehicle.
Yeah, that's a very common thing. You ran into that recently, Jim, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 42 scheduled appointments. How many of those appointments are going to show up? The number ranges, but I would say a good safe estimate right in the middle of the common outcomes is half. So 50% of the 42 appointments are going to show up, which means we'll have 21 appointments show up.
If you have less than that, it means that the appointments that you're setting are not necessarily quality sets. You didn't connect, or they were just sloughing you off the phone. You didn't address their real concerns, things like that.
Yeah. Okay. And then if we have 21 people show, well, your dealership better than we do, but how many of those should buy a car? Traditionally, a 25% closing ratio is accepted standard. So that's going to be 5 cars sold. So that means from 120 leads to 5 cars sold. And really 100 unique valid leads, because we took 20 off the top, 100 unique valid leads turned into 5 cars sold. So did that make those other 95 leads junk? I don't really think so. In fact, now
you can call those junk.
No, now they're in your database, and you can, if you are strategic about it, you can stay in touch with them and potentially entice more of those people to re-engage in the future. But understanding that the reasonable expectation is that 5 out of 100 UVLs are going to buy a car. And then so now think about this. You can think about, well, what's your cost per lead? And then you can talk about, well, so what can I afford for my cost to lead? Because I know it takes me, if it takes 100 to get 5, it takes 20 leads to get 1 sale. So whatever it costs to get 20 leads is what it costs to get 1 sale. And so can you get those leads at an acceptable amount that fits within your cost per car, cost per sale number? We can talk about that a different day, but you can do the math yourself and figure that out. Understand that any dysfunction in the process, any dysfunction in your lead handling process is going to throw this out of whack, and your numbers aren't going to be as good as what we just laid out, which are the
so it might be 120 to 2 for you.
Right.
Because your people on the phone are not as good at scheduling, or your salesmen are not as good at salespeople are not as good at selling, and these numbers aren't optimized.
But look, we're efficiency guys, okay? We believe in the Pareto principle, right? 80-20. So 80% of the effect comes from 20% of the input. So the question that we ask ourselves in this situation is, what is the single thing, the easiest thing, honestly, that could be done to affect the greatest output, the greatest outcome, the greatest impact on these numbers to improve them the quickest? And that's the one thing that you can do that can
turn more quote unquote bad leads into good leads.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is what we call.
Oh, wait, Jim.
Oh.
I'm gonna interrupt you.
Yep. This is a great
Sorry.
time to ask everyone if you like what you're hearing right now and you think this is valuable and you'd like to hear more, then you should hit the subscribe button so you get notified every time we post a video. Also, you should like this video. And if you know someone in the business, right, Travis, what should they do?
They should share this video. Send it. I mean, whether you like them or don't like them, whether you like us or don't like us, share it either way.
Yeah, let them know that we're two ding-dongs. Or let them know that you love this video and that this is helpful. And that would be great.
We'd appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Now we can get to the big one. The one thing that can make more of your bad leads good. And that is something we call speed to lead. The faster you jump on, we use terms and it makes it sound so like nefarious process. Jump on a lead, but the faster you jump on a lead, the faster you respond to that lead. The faster you try to get in touch with them. We're in a very hyper responsive world. Like people want results right away. They want everything now. It's the now economy, right? And so when someone puts their information in and they're looking for help now, when do they want the help? They want it now, right? And so the faster we can give them the help, the better, the more likely they're going to be there waiting to receive the help. If we give them too much time, then they move on to something else. Well, they're not in the frame of mind they were when they were requesting help.
That's right. Now, sometimes we've asked people, like, what do you think the appropriate, time frame is for response? What's the most effective response time? Some people say within the first 24 hours, that's our goal. That's, within the same business day before close of business on the same day. It's reasonable, right? Some people say we want to get back to them within the same hour. That's our goal. Within 1 hour, we respond. Some people say, we want to respond to them within 10 minutes. Some people say we want to respond within 5 minutes. Well, we did a meta-analysis over hundreds of thousands of leads, and the time between the lead generation and first contact, and then looked at their likeliness to answer, to be a connect, and their likeliness to schedule. And I don't expect you guys to like this answer.
No.
But
it definitely adds credence to speed to lead.
Yeah, the answer was that the time, the leads that have the most likely chance to connect, and by a wide margin, huge margin, and the leads that have the most likely chance to schedule by a wide, huge margin, were the leads where the initial response occurred in the first 60 seconds.
60 seconds. And after the first 5 minutes, the value of that lead, the likelihood it connected and the likelihood it converted to a schedule dropped like a boulder.
Yep. And then
dramatic.
And then by an hour, completely eroded. And by 24 hours, the likelihood that this lead converted into anything meaningful had dropped, by 98, 99%. Just ridiculous.
Now, we didn't then follow that lead through a nurturing sequence that went on for, a extended period of time, like a long-term nurture campaign that made it useful again. But so we're excluding the value of that. But in the immediate lead value, 60 seconds was prime. 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, you lost a ton of the value, most of the value, honestly. And then by an hour, I mean,
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say most of the value, Jim. I would say like a 15 to 20%
okay.
reduction in likelihood that they would
There was a
convert.
reduction of value, and by an hour,
Significant, yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
by an hour is wiped out.
it was just
And think
fairly-
about why that would be. Someone became a lead. That's what they're doing right then. But an hour from now, they're doing something different.
totally.
And so,
And like people shop, because we have programmed car shoppers to shop, right? Which is a whole nother discussion. We've programmed them to shop. So they shop your website, then they go shop someone else's website, they shop someone else's website, or maybe they're shopping on a third-party automotive site, and they're looking at your inventory next to someone else's inventory, and they put in a lead form for yours, and then they put in a lead form for someone else's, or they don't even remember that they put in for yours. They thought they were putting in for somebody else. Like, it's just...
It's a mess.
It's a mess, right?
And by the way, once they go to the first car dealership website and engage in that first behavior the first time, they enter the intent audience, the intender zone, and next thing you know, they're a lead on everybody's system, and they're following. They're getting ads from everybody. So things like, man, you got to strike while the iron's hot. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right. Look.
So that is the power.
Yeah.
We told you about the funnel, right? And so that funnel, to achieve those goals that we outlined there, you absolutely need speed to lead. If you don't have speed to lead, those goals that we earmarked in the funnel, you're not hitting those. Guarantee. That's a guarantee.
Yep,
right?
That's
and
right.
So, and the longer you take, the lower those on the scale you're going to be as it relates to those goals. And so you might then be with 120 leads, you might end up with one sale.
Right. That's going to throw your metrics completely off. Okay.
Totally.
We've been talking about this for 25 years, Jim. We probably will be talking about it for 25 more. So we're out of time for this episode. Let's wrap it up. But let us know. Give us a comment. Let us know what you think. Agree, disagree. What have you experienced? What are
you doing to create speed to lead in your organization? Tell us in the comments. If you'd like to continue the conversation, jump on over to betterdealerships.com, where we have a free group discussion group where we talk about how to make dealerships better. And if you're interested in learning more about what we can do to help you with speed to lead, driving more traffic and sales to your store, you can find us over at richdealers.com. richdealers.com. That's where we are. And until next time, you stay classy.